Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Danny Show. I'm your host, Daniel Cody, giving you commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Thank you guys so much for joining, and thank you guys for watching my reaction to CM Punk's incredible pipe bomb opening to Monday Night Raw yesterday. I really appreciate that. But now we are on NXT. And I know that next week is going to be a great opening. Next week on NXT is going to be awesome. I believe the next 2 days of next week, Monday and Tuesday, are going to be awesome from New York City. But let's talk about tonight's episode of NXT. We opened up with Sol Roca and Zari. Was that the opening? I forgot which one was the opening, but I know we had Sol Roca and Zarya taking on the team of Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. And legend has it that Chelsea Green is backstage crying because of her bloody nose. She's still crying about it. I truly believe she's crying about it backstage right now. Wait a minute, but I thought of something. Now that TNA and NXT are aligned together, that means we can get a marital reuniting of Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder, and Chelsea Green. But in the meantime, Chelsea Green didn't have a very good night tonight as she was pinned by Sol Roca after a Soul Snatcher. By the way, that LOD-like move, what's it called? I forgot. That LOD-like finishing move with a twist of the moonsault was a perfect move. We saw two of some of my NXT favorite women, Kalani Jordan and Jada Parker, go at it, with Jada Parker getting the victory after a pretty hard-fought wrestling match. That match was pretty good to me. Of course, those two are some of my favorites on NXT. The other favorite women on NXT will be fighting next week, Julia and Stephanie Vakir. And I like them for moral, modest reasons as wrestlers, not the way Booker T likes them. And I laughed like crazy when they talked about LFG and how Booker T and all of the legends and all the coaches, including one of my all-time favorites, The Undertaker, will be in New York City next week. However, they said that Booker T was hoping Sexy Red would be there. I think that when Booker T, if I knew how, I would make a community post. And the community post would be him laying next to Charmel while secretly thinking of Sexy Red, the rapper. Because I think he has a crazy crush for Miss Sexy Red and Stephanie Vakir. And expect Booker T to get aroused when Stephanie Vakir does that little move that she does where she bounces her opponent's head on the ground using her legs and everything. Naomi made that move famous, but expect Booker T to get aroused next week. But enough about that. We saw a lot of wildness tonight. We saw the press conference between Moose and Obafemi. I cannot wait to see that match next week. It is going to be awesome. Speaking of awesome things, it was great to see Jeff Hardy come out tonight. It was great to see the Hardy Boys back in WWE. It has been almost 2 years since, oh my God. And speaking of which, this is between us, guys, but March happens to be, in the past, was Victory Road. And one of the most forgettable Victory Roads was 2011. We all want to forget about that one. That happened in the month of March in Florida. But we want to forget that one. However, it's been almost 2 years since we witnessed a sad day with Jeff Hardy. But thankfully, Jeff Hardy is back and he's recovered. And I hope he's doing better with time. Of course, we saw the main event tonight of Tony D'Angelo versus Sean Spears, Mr. 10. And before we get that, let's get back to the women for the second. Because for a second, I was wondering, I turned my head because it was screen and screen on the commercial breaks, which I'm very thankful for. But when it was back off commercial completely, Cora Jade was standing on the side and she did not look like she was doing too well. I really hope that she's not completely hurt again. And I hope this is nothing serious because she was really just starting to get back. I know she's supposed to be the villain, but I don't wish this on anyone. So I really hope that this is not a serious case with Cora Jade because if it is, I'm wondering who the helicopter cursed her where she always gets injured like this. So I hope it's nothing serious. In the meantime, that was during a match with herself versus Jordan Grace, who was attacked by Roxanne Perez later on in the night, and we'll get those two next week. Now let's talk about the main event. We had Tony D'Angelo versus the Perfect 10, Mr. Sean Spears. And dude, there was some accidents going on in the family. And with that and a bad back, Sean Spears won the match and won the NXT North American Championship. So the question now remains, what is next for Tony D'Angelo? Are they going to move him to the main roster, or are they going to move him up to main event subject as far as NXT is concerned, meaning NXT World Heavyweight Champion contenderships? I don't know. But they say when one door closes, another one opens. So I'm really looking forward to next week in NYC. And of course, I'm looking forward to the next episode of LFG because I think Bubba Ray is going to kill Mr. BJ. Now, what kind of stupid nickname is that? I'm just serious. Just seriously, guys. BJ, that's your nickname? What the helicopter is that? But in the meantime, I'll see you guys next week. That's all the time I have for you today, and I'll be back with another review on all things wrestling, and I can't wait to see if Bubba Ray kills Mr. BJ guy next week. The only time BJ I can't has a halfway a decent name. Well, even when has Baby Bop as a sister from Barney and Friends and whatnot, but as a kid. But let's see what happens. Bubba Ray, please have mercy on Mr. BJ. That don't sound right. Even if it is from Barney and Friends, it still don't sound right. See you later, folks.